The image of Master Mischief's suit malfunctioning sticks with Jess, and the next time she's at work, she eyes M's mecha suit until finally she can't bear not knowing. "Is your suit waterproof?" she blurts out. Oh god, yes, Master Mischief discovered that not having a waterproof suit was incredibly debilitating, especially after the soap bubble incident. I thought the soap idea was pretty funny. Yeah, good. It should teach the country club not to waste water. Those fairways are ridiculous. We live in a desert. Jess pauses. She's always just thought the Andover Heights Country Club paid for the water. Images from her History Hollow books flick through her mind, of people desperate for clean water during the times of the disasters. There are always public service announcements from the collective about using only the water you need, but Jess never really thought about where the water had to come from. Those desalination plants and reservoirs always just seemed like a distant certainty, but it must take a lot of time and resources to get that water to where it's needed. I didn't think about it like that. Everyone just said it was to be funny, you know? Like how Mischief's always doing those pranks. Yeah, because the press is too busy following Smash's newest hairstyle or like, I don't know, whatever they want to focus on. I guess our town isn't so bad. But my dad says even if the Mischief spelled out exactly what they were trying to do, the media would probably still mess it up. M's face panel lights blink colourfully. "I knew about the cheese. It was spoiled," Jess says. "Yeah, thank God for net conspiracy theorists. I loved your t-shirt. I think it's great that you have one." Jess grins. "My parents hate it." Most people think the shirts are dumb, or that the Mischiefs are dumb. I know better. Well, we know better. Like, don't you think it's weird that we don't know much about historical heroes? What historical heroes? We know that Captain Orion's grandfather was the first one who researched the metagene and the different ways it was expressed after the X-29 incident. Yeah, but there must have been more meta-powered people who found out about their abilities right after the flare, M says. Why is Lieutenant Orion one of the few heroes mentioned in the history books? Jess shrugs. "He's not the only one," she says. "I mean, there are a bunch of people. Gravitas, Photon." She really doesn't know much about Gravitas or Photon, or any of the other early metahumans other than Lieutenant Orion. There probably weren't a lot of people documented until after Lieutenant Orion because, well, people were just figuring out about metahumans back then, and it wasn't until Lieutenant Orion was established as a hero that the vigilantes started stepping forward. I've never thought about it like that. What about... Talking to M is easy. Jess enjoys the electronic cadence of her voice. Emma and Bells have been encouraging her to use this time to get to know Abby, but the minute she gets in the same room as her crush, she gets distracted by the colour of her lips or the way she scrunches her nose as she types and freezes up. Jess's 17th birthday is a relatively quiet affair. Her parents take her and her friends out for dinner and cake. Emma gives her a set of collector's edition Captain Orion comics, and Bells hand-painted the covers of 3 new journals for her to write in. Jess sits back, full of food. Bells and Brendan play with the light-up display that reads Jess in colourful blue letters, a gift from Brendan. It's a thoughtful present, and Jess is thankful for the dinner at her favourite restaurant. Her parents haven't said anything to her about not presenting with any powers, but they're probably waiting until Emma and Bells go home. "Oh, isn't that Elizabeth Fung?" Jess's mum asks. Sure enough, a few tables away, Elizabeth looks as if she's out with her parents. "Why didn't you invite her to your party? You two used to be such good friends," Li Hua says. "Not really. We were going to go see a movie, right?" "Yeah, the movie starts in 20 minutes. Thank you for dinner, Mrs. Tran," Bells says as he gets up. They make their escape before it gets awkward. "Happy birthday to you," Emma sing-songs at her. "Thanks, you guys." They bought tickets, and Jess and Emma are waiting for Bells to come back with popcorn. He does, but he's also staring at his DED and frowning. Sorry, guys, there's an emergency at the restaurant. My parents need me to come back. He hands them the bucket of popcorn and gives them each a quick hug before running off. Bells, do you need a ride? Jess calls. My brother is picking me up. Thanks, Bells calls back, running toward the parking lot. Well, that sucks, Jess says as they sit. He was really looking forward to this one too. Isn't his older brother away at college? Emma asks, narrowing her eyes. Jess munches on popcorn. Simon works weekends sometimes. Do you think Bells is mad at me? No. Why would you think that? Emma shrugs. I haven't seen him around much. We used to hang out all the time after school, and I know he works at his family's restaurant, but not that much, you know? And since you started working too, it's like, I think he doesn't want to hang out with just me, you know? These past few weeks, it's just been him coming up with these lame excuses, like, I'm doing homework, or I'm dyeing my hair tonight. We used to do that together, and She trails off, a forgotten piece of popcorn in her hand. That does sound weird. I'm sorry. I've been super busy at work after school, and I know, yeah, hang in with your girl. And I miss all three of us spending time together, and for some reason, I don't know. Bells is just being weird, you know? Do you think he's dating someone secretly? And why would he hide it from us? No idea. Friday nights, they usually plan to hang at Emma's house. They always rewatch a few episodes of The Gentleman Detective before watching the newest episode. Bells is late. Jess and Emma have already seen 3 episodes when they hear the doorbell ring. Emma beats the Robledo's Mon robot to the door and flings it open. After a few hours of, hey, where's Bells, and what is that supposed to be anyway? Ugh, Bells would know, and Jess, Bells said today he was coming, right? Jess thought Emma would be pleased to see their friend, but instead of giving him the expected hug, Emma stands in the entryway and gives him a flat stare. Hey, where have you been? She asks. Oh, I had family stuff. Ran late, Bells says. Like what? My mum ran into your mum at the grocery store. Apparently everything is chill. I like your new hair, Jess says, trying to diffuse the tension. She doesn't want her 2 best friends fighting. Did you get extensions? It looks great longer. I like it a lot. Bells blinks. No, it must be the way I've styled it. Oh, so you had time to do your hair, but you don't have time to message me and say you're going to be late? What's going on with you, Bells? You know you can tell us anything, I feel like you don't trust us anymore. I can't tell you everything, Bells snaps. You know what, I came here to relax and hang out, not get interrogated. Jess's mouth falls open. She's never heard Bells raise his voice, ever. Bells turns to Jess. Are you just going to stand there and let her accuse me of this? Emma's feelings were just hurt because you kept blowing her off, Jess says. Us, I mean. Yeah, I don't see her getting all high and mighty with you and your big new job. Busy every day after school now, Bells says. You know what? I don't need this. He whirls around, leaves, and slams the door behind him. He hadn't even stepped past the entryway. Emma and Jess stare at the closed door, and then Mrs. Robledo calls out, Was that Bells? I made horchata. He likes it better than hot cocoa. Emma sniffs, grabs Jess by the elbow and leads her back into her bedroom. We don't have to marathon this anymore. Bells is the only one who likes this dumb show anyway. Jess sinks onto Emma's bed, deflated. I don't think those extensions look that great, Emma says. Who gets extensions, like, for 2 inches of hair? Bells is very serious about his hair. It wouldn't seem like a stretch for him to ask for a specific thing, like only 2 inches or so, but it's Not as if Jess is an expert on hair extensions. Yeah, but it's not possible to just get your hair just a bit longer. It's usually at least 6 inches. My cousin, for her quinceañera, had the whole 9 yards. Hair, makeup, everything. Isn't just a little bit longer weird? I guess, Jess says. Emma changes the channel. The characters from The Gentleman Detective dissolve and reform into Lilliputian and Starscream. Wilton Lysander stands in front of the camera, gesturing frantically. I'm here in Orange Port, where Lilliputian and Starscream are taking on Cold Front. Lysander nearly gets shot with an ice blast, but ducks just in time. The narration is interesting, despite the somewhat routine fight. Lilliputian and Starscream apprehend the villain easily, and soon Emma is rewinding the clip to play it again. Something occurs to Jess during the rewatch. I wonder how the camera person knew where they were, she says. They probably just showed up. But look at the angles. Like, how we can see Starscream's face perfectly here, and then Lilliputian here when he gets small, and then here when they fight again on this ledge. This fight only takes about 5 minutes total. There's no way there was a photographer at each of these spots of the holocam. It's put together like a movie. Emma blinks. I guess? But look how you can see Starscream's face here. Aren't his eyes dreamy? And that jawline and the stubble. Yes, he's hot, but I'm saying that actual news footage wouldn't look like this. It would be like super zoomed in unless they were fighting where people were already set up for the angles. Maybe the reporters are just really good at their job, Emma says. She props her face in her elbows, eyebrows furrowed. I'm not in the mood to figure out what's going on here. I just want to veg out and watch Starscream's butt in his tights. Alright, Jess says. Hey, come here. She pulls Emma into a hug, and Emma sniffs, as if she's been holding back tears. Jess rubs her back. Bells is better at this than she is, but Bells is the reason Emma's upset. They settle back and watch the fight again. Starscream and Lilliputian work together effortlessly, and Cold Front goes down, shuddering when the two heroes slap the tantalum cuffs on him and lead him away. With a neat, packaged finish, it's not unlike any of the other battles Jess has seen on television, but now she remembers how other battles were similar. From the confrontation to the 1-2 punch and right down to the final arrest. It varies depending on the hero and the powers, but the pattern is totally familiar. Emma seems as though she's doing better after a few video compilations of Starscream's greatest battles. Jess looks at the pile of snacks and vintage board games Emma had piled out in preparation for the night. There's even a brand new sketch pad and a set of expensive markers Bells would never have bought for himself. With a sad smile, Jess touches the gifts and hopes that things work out soon. Emma suggests that Jess sleep over, but Jess doesn't think it's a good idea. Mrs. Robledo likes sleepover guests to have a big breakfast with the family, but Jess wants to avoid the awkward questions about why Bells isn't there. After Emma drops her off at home, she looks for footage of previously aired battles, starting with the major heroes in New Bright City. Jess compares. Same 2 obvious camera angles. Same finish with the tantalum cuffs. No one ever gets injured, no one is actually in danger, and nothing is really at stake. Jess hadn't realized that when Jess hadn't realized what she's been seeing play out in her own small city. The mischiefs causing a minor disturbance, her parents chasing them away or recovering the item they stole, was happening all over the country. Jess thought the harmless pranks were just because they were C-class heroes and villains, but it's the same everywhere, though at grander scales. There's a cheeping outside Jess's door, and Jess opens it to find Char blinking up at her. Hey dude, Jess says, come on in. The Mon robot rolls inside, knocks into the foot of Jess's bed, and continues vacuuming haphazardly. It's only halfway through with the room before it runs out of battery and cheeps sadly until Jess picks it up and carries it to its charging station. Oh baby, I just charged you yesterday. Hey, I wonder if I get you some sort of employee discount and get you an upgrade? Charge cheap.